This factory at Fort Knox in Kentucky is responsible for producing nearly every single name tape worn in the U.S. military.
What are you doing there?
Burning the back of it so that there's not the extra thread that's back there to make it presentable.
Each military branch wears 3 or more different uniforms. These uniforms are decorated with a variety of individual badges and awards. But one thing they all share is their name tape. With only 17 total employees, this shop can make more than 3,000 name tapes a day and up to 60,000 a month.
We're a small operation, but we do big things.
We produce the best quality that we can. We ship to 267 stateside military clothing stores. We ship to 33 overseas military clothing stores.
How many different names do you think you're sewing a day?
Oh, quite a bit. We go by this paper here. Yesterday was 70, 235 of them. That's 70 names, 235 tapes. Just trying to make them all look perfect. I wouldn't put anything out that my husband wouldn't wear. I'll put it that way.
They want soldiers to look outstanding because they're representing the United States of America. That's why.
There's a chance that some of these name tags might get worn into combat.
That's sad to us. I'm not really sad, but we know they do it. And they run into combat and we just pray that person comes back alive.
When I first saw my name on my uniform, it didn't just feel like my name in the same way. It felt like my name was a part of something bigger than myself. It just felt like seeing the Gerboff next to U.S. Army, it made me feel a lot more connected with my country.
This modest building, tucked away in a corner of Fort Knox, is home to the Name Tape Plant.
This operation in particular is very unassuming. Most people don't even know it's on Fort Knox, even if you're on Fort Knox.
The staff has more than 240 years of combined experience.
How long have you been here?
Going close to 15 years.
12 years, I think, altogether.
7 years. I've been here 21 years.
30 years.
I think 25. I'm only got 2 more years and I'm out.
Many employees at the plant have either served in the military or have a spouse who served.
I think it comes from the heart. I think it comes from having that experience, being in the military, knowing what sacrifices that service person has gave up. And I think they want just a little piece, a part of that, just to give something back to them that gives up so much for us. That's why I think they stay around for so long.
The fact that we have about 17 people producing almost 60,000 items a month to go out to the services is staggering.
A new cloth name tape with Velcro costs soldiers $4.50. Rush orders cost $5.75.
This is not bad. Not bad at all. I think that's a great price.
Teresa, the plant manager, said rising expenses are threatening its budget.
I try to stay under $60,000, but my raw materials have gone up. My thread's gone up.
The production process begins as orders come in from U.S. military installations all around the world.
By the time I got here at 6 o'clock this morning and open, we got 2,800 pieces, over 2,800 pieces.
So this is where it starts out. We print off, we take them to the floor to get produced.
Teresa then hands out orders to employees on the floor. The most commonly manufactured items are cloth name tapes and engraved nameplates. Cloth name tapes, worn on operational camouflage pattern uniforms, or OCPs, begin at the embroidery station. The shop has 8 4-headed embroidery machines and 2 12-headed machines. First, staff enters the name into the computer system.
This right here is going to tell me if it's centered or not, which it is. It normally takes about 2 to 3 minutes per name. Within that time frame, you're going to be going over there, typing in the next name, getting your machine ready.
All of the standards the Name Tape Plant uses are issued by the Institute of Heraldry, an agency that oversees uniforms and insignia of the different military branches.
They make sure that the uniform is correct. You know, just make sure that you have the right height, the right width, And it's only, you can only be 1/8 of an inch off of anything. The height, the width, they want it sewn a perfect way. They want the right color thread, they want the right color material. Your material has to come from a vendor that's certified through the Institute of Heraldry as well. There's a certification process that you have to go through for the Army, Air Force, Navy, Marines, all of it.
You don't want to do a name over if you don't have to. If it just has something tiny missing, like say that didn't go all the way up, I know how to make it so I could fix it. Our thread has gotten thinner over the years, so sometimes it's hard to get it in there, but it'll go.
And is there like a last name that you do a lot?
Yeah, a lot of Smiths. I love it because it's fast paced, and my husband's in the military and my father was too, so it makes me happy I'm sewing names for uniforms. I always say this is my exercise program and I don't have to pay them, they're paying me. Because I get like almost 3 miles a day running back and forth.
Although the names are stitched using machines, every tape has a handmade touch.
And we're gonna cut it, make sure everything is kind of off of the back. As long as it don't hang over, it's okay.
Well, what are you doing there?
Burning the back of it so that there's not the extra thread that's back there to make it presentable.
After the cloth name tapes are stitched and cut, single needle sewing machines attach Velcro.
This is the measuring, then you have to put the name. We have the line in the middle and we have to make sure that the name is right on the middle. We have to put the Velcro on. And we have to sew on.
How long have you been here?
7 years.
7 years. And what, you said you love it. What do you love about it?
The job, it's, that is the only thing what we can support the soldier to do the names, the brand for them, because that is our support for them, Every time when they put this name here, we just feel really good that it's coming from us to support them.
Another signature product made at the plant is engraved nameplates for formal uniforms.
You have to put the name in the computer and put a piece of metal in here. And it cuts the name. Whenever I go out somewhere and I see someone in a uniform, I always look to see if I can tell it was made here.
Miranda paints each nameplate by hand.
Gonna make sure it gets in all the letters. Use this to remove excess paint and get it put in here to dry for a while. And after that dries for about 5-10 minutes, we start taking this and basically we just have to keep going over it until the blue's only in the letters. Once all the blue is off, we take the clear coat and put over it, and then backing goes on it and it gets shipped out.
The plant also makes plastic name tags.
We cut the plastic out for the AGSU, for the new Army uniform. I can select whatever program it is that I need, Army, Air Force.
How many of these a day are you cutting?
On a real good day, I can bust out 5. You know what I'm saying? There was one time where we was falling behind because of when we start getting schools and things like that from Army and Air Force, they do big orders. So at one point I was falling behind, but we was running them like clockwork. And I pushed out 500 a day one time. And she was like, oh, 500? I said, oh, hey, don't be comfortable with this. It's just for one day. But yeah, I can knock out at least 3 to 4 a day. Once I get done cutting them, I'll bring them over here, put the glue on the backs, and then I grab the plastic backing. When I was in, I took pride in my uniform, made sure my rivets were straight and everything. And I like to know that once I get this out to them, that, I like to know that it's looking good on their uniform.
Next to the engraving station is a single-headed embroidery machine used to stitch more complex names.
The challenges that we run into when it comes to name was back then they wouldn't have the special hyphens, accent tillies, and all that. So now they do. So like I come over here for like the tilly, and go to new designs, and then come to this T, and then let's say P-E-N, Kenya. And then right here, you see the tilly right there. I'm just, so far right now we do the tillies and the accents, but we had one customer that wanted the Russian name and Russian letters, and that was a little more difficult to figure out. We had to sit there and turn the H upside down to kind of match the same as the customer's name, so yeah.
Besides uncommon letters and symbols, plant staff encounter other challenges as well.
What's like the longest name you've seen?
I hate to say it, man, but my Hispanic people got the longest names. I've seen Martinez Gonzalez, and then I've seen Rodriguez Gonzalez. So like when mine's Medina Perez in the Marine Corps, my journal instructor wasn't too proud of that. He was like, Medina Perez, pick one because you can't have both. You know?
Right now, sometimes challenges are not people wanting to work. Like we've had a lot of people to retire. And getting folks in here, getting them a step in here. You know, hey, come here, see what you're gonna do, see what we got to offer. Just getting people in the front door because, you know, I think the younger generation, you know, they don't know what hard work is sometimes, I feel. Not all, but some.
Once the team finishes all name tapes and plates, Emma then inspects one last time at a quality control station.
So I'm checking for the spelling, the amount, the right thread, and make sure the quality is correct.
Now, name tapes are ready for shipping. Domestic orders are shipped in bags via FedEx, while international orders are shipped via USPS.
Sometimes we have to ship out boxes. Like Andrews and the Pentagon, they request boxes. They do not like the bags. So every day it's roughly about 80, 90 bags or boxes that we ship out to 80, 90 different military facilities.
Orders here have a turnaround time of 2 to 3 days.
At the end of the day, we'll go through, we'll close all the bags up, and we'll ship them out.
My dad was in the Army, and my grandfather, my uncle, and just seeing my name on the uniform that they wore and served the country with is just an unbelievable feeling.
I was waiting for my name tapes for a while because at first they had just gave me the uniform, gave me the U.S. Army, and it was like, oh, your name isn't ready yet. So I was waiting for my name, and I just felt so empowered. I feel like I'm carrying on a legacy. My family is an all-Army family, so I'm carrying on a legacy, and I feel so good to walk around with Jackson.
My uncle was in the Air Force. He flew U-2 pilots, and he passed away actually 2 weeks after I was born, and I actually remember I put on my uniform for the first time when my patches came in, and it was like huge and baggy, and it was freshman year. I looked like ridiculous, and I called my dad, and I was like in tears, and I was like, I'm wearing the same like name tape that like Uncle Dwayne was wearing, and like he started crying, and I was like, even if I get married, like I'm not changing my last name in the military because like, I don't know, this might be like too much, but I just like always think that like I'm carrying him with me, like I'm making him proud, like I'm continuing his military legacy, and it gives me a lot of pride to carry this last name.
The U.S. military didn't require names on uniforms until the 1950s. Before then, soldiers would often handwrite their names on pieces of white cloth and attach them to their uniforms to assist with identification. But it wasn't until the Korean War in 1953 that Army Secretary Robert Stevens mandated that all uniforms bear the service member's last name and military branch. The name tape plant at Fort Knox opened in 1985.
When we came at Fort Knox, they had 6 machines. That's all they had. They had 6 machines and 6 people working one shift.
Although the size of the operation has changed over the years, its mission has not.
They come in every day, they're ready for the mission, they're ready to get those name tags out because they know they need them. They just don't order name tags so they don't need them. Somebody needs those, and it's kind of like it's a big deal for us.
It's awesome to know that we're accomplishing missions. We take the challenge head on and we try to push it out as fast as we can. But like I said, we're a small operation, but we do big things.
My little piece of making this name tag is going to be on a soldier that I'll never meet, That's why I stayed. You know, it's giving back to someone I don't know. And because they do so much for us that people don't even realize what they do.